Well, hello there, guys and gals. Well, I might as well tell you guys, we had to change game plans on the old 66 here. What do I mean? Well, I'll show you. So there was things that I didn't see coming. Do your research. I did not. I thought, where I'm not a Ford guy, all 5.0s are the same. They're a pretty decent motor. I mean, they're dependable. Let's just be honest. Even if you're not a Ford guy, you have to admit they're pretty darn, dependable, I guess. I hate to say it. But I mean, it's true. They really are relatively good. And you just got to look at your system. Now, let me explain. I took off all of the fuel injection and all of this mess of a wiring that I was going through. And honestly, I decided personally that I wanted to go another route. One, because that is a nightmare to me. All of that wiring and all that going through it was not fun at all. I have been wanting to do an older build, such as this, and I do have another one right after it. But what do I mean? I mean, like, there, I'm just going to show you. We went straight old school. And let me tell you how I determined this. To get away from this and go with this. For one, a 94 Mustang GT is a good car. That's my cat, Hot Dog. Come here, Hot Dog. You want to say hi to the people? I got him a couple weeks ago. Look at him. Ain't he a good-looking cat? Yeah. Always purring. Pretty good kitty. He got the name Hot Dog because, brought it home to the girls and they said, I said, what are we going to name it? So I go in the house and I don't have any cat food because we haven't had any animals for quite a long time. So I grab a hot dog, and my youngest says, why don't we name him Hot Dog since he likes hot dogs? Thus, Hot Dog the kitty cat. All right, well, that's enough of old Dad's real-time stories. Anyway, back to this guy here. We decided to switch this up based on fate. What do I mean, fate? This thing here was fighting me tooth and nail with all this wiring. This engine compartment for me is just too compact, if I'm going to be honest about it. There's a lot going on with the V8 in there. I mean, I know other people have done other things. I'm not saying it's impossible. I'm saying this is not my main project. My main project is that guy. Toby, the IROC, the Bandit. Those are my projects. This just kind of happened. Nonetheless, I'm glad that it did happen, and it's going to be a fun car still. We're still keeping our serpentine belt set up, but I did this because the harness was just too much for me. I don't really have the time to go through each and every daggone wire down there and just to find out that it might not work. It might not work because it might have to go through the gauge cluster for some reason, because Fords wire things completely goofy. Don't know why they're wired like that. Another thing, 94 is the first year for an AODE transmission. I did not realize that everybody, whenever they start building these, go with the 86 to 93 harness for, I guess, a multitude of reasons. The mass airflow system or something, that's got something to do with it. The AODE, if you go automatic, a lot of them build standard, I know. I usually do. But like I said, this is supposed to be a mama pleasure car, so I'm planning accordingly. And yeah, there's just a whole bunch of goodness that come out of that. I am just really with it, just real So I got on the marketplace and I found this. brand newish Edelbroken Edelbrock Performer dual plane in the proximity where I was at the time over the weekend. Guy was asking 150 bucks for it. So I start pricing it up. Now, the fuel injection setup that I wanted to put on this after that mess over there was Ace's Kill Shot, and it looked really good. It's like right at $1,000 with tax, right? It's the throttle body, wire harness, the distributor, everything except the intake. So I'm sitting here working it back and forth. Then AODE transmission still needs a transmission controller. So now, instead of just $1,000, we're looking at about $1,600 because of the transmission controller. Now, the intake, $100. The carburetor, thank you, Brock. My dude hooked me up. I told him what I was looking for. I think he may have had this on his Chevelle. I'm not sure. But I said, I need a 600 CFM carburetor is what I'm looking for, if I'm going to be honest. So he says, dude, I probably have 5 of those. He takes a picture of this guy right here. And this is a 4160. And I said, that's great, dude. What do you want for it? He says, you can have it. So that's the right price for this guy. Electric choke. I mean, this thing's the bee's knees. We did get a rebuild kit, but I'm not kidding you. As clean as it is, and I was walking down the driveway and I could hear the floats bouncing. Me being the kind of guy I am, I'm gonna roll the dice. We're just gonna try it out. So we're gonna try this. I mean, it's actually just dusty, you know. And if I have to rebuild it, whatever, dude. Like, it's 4 bolts and that's a fuel line. I think I can do that. So we're going to have to get a different distributor. We're flirting with getting the GM type. It's a 1-wire, simple enough, key on power. And the only thing is it's the bulky guy, you know. But nonetheless, I really don't care. So we're going to have to get different wires. And I know that stuff adds up. So the GM one, we're looking at like right about $100. We're going to end up in this thing about $1,000. Well, we still have to buy a transmission controller if we're running this transmission, which I believe we are. My buddy Delmer says it's a heck of a transmission. So, you know, we're going to keep on running it. What's going on here? Did my battery die? Awesome. So I don't know what happened. This daggone GoPro, I'm gonna have to get a new camera. Does anybody like have any kind of preferences on what's good and what's bad? This thing just said it was repairing my file. That's the first for me. I don't know. So anyway, we're going to continue like we never had this conversation. And the intake, $100, because I don't know where it killed. I don't know. The intake was $100 off a marketplace. The 600 CFM 4160, my buddy Brock donated to me. Thank you, Brock. Appreciate you, brother. That's a really good friend of mine, by the way. He said he had like 5 of them just sitting around, so he hooked an old dude up. The only problem I have right now is these valve covers kind of look, you know, they kind of look, So we're going to look for a nice cheap set because that's the way to go. It's just a nice cheap set. Those are just kind of crappy. If we have to keep them, so be it. I mean, they're valve covers. But nonetheless, we're having to we got to replace that distributor, and it's just sometimes it's going to lead into some funness. This is all I got. So we're going to see what we got going on, and we're going to plan accordingly. But this is more budget. This honestly relieves some anxiety for me, if I'm going to be totally honest about it, because I was starting to stress about this particular build. I was like 4 weeks ahead until I cracked into that harness, and now I'm like a week ahead. I don't like that. So I like to be a lot further ahead just in case something happens, yada, yada, yada. But nonetheless, we're still moving forward. Got a nice pretty intake, nice carburetor. We're going to just like spray that off with, you know, air or something. The carburetor, it is. Get the dust off of it. We're going to use it, see what happens. We might try the GM looking distributor. It's a big bulky sucker though. That's the only thing I don't like. So I don't know. We're going to do some research. I broke a bolt off. That guy right there, the very front of the intake. The good thing is it goes straight down through, so I don't really have to worry about it a whole heck of a lot. I can just drill straight down and tap some threads in there. So that's a plus. The rest came out. I'm very fortunate, very lucky on that. The engine is very clean, so it still holds up that this thing is 100% rebuilt and definitely doesn't have almost 300,000 miles on it. Like I say, underneath the intake was clean as a pin. The intake gaskets was brand new-ish. I mean, like, you know, you've seen intake gaskets. Usually they are not in that kind of shape. This guy here, I mean, that's pretty darn new. So that continues to hold water that we absolutely got a brand new motor. So we're happy with that. We might just keep them crusty old blue valve covers for a minute. I don't know. I'm heartbroken, confused right now at the same time. So we're just going to play it by ear and let the build continue, you know? But this should get us fired up a heck of a lot quicker. It's going to be a simpler build, thank goodness. We ordered a new sending unit to replace our Holly, which we're kind of bummed out about, but kind of is what it is at the same time. We just got a stock one, you know. We got an electric fuel pump coming with a pressure regulator because I think you want to set around 6 PSI and they run about 7-ish. Like I say, we're going to play it by ear, see what happens. But thank you guys for watching. I just wanted to keep you up to par. I'm trying to keep these videos rolling. Yeah. So we're definitely sorry if you're disappointed, but hey, I do not have an endless budget. This is all out of Dad's pocket, so sometimes you got to do stuff a little bit more budget friendly. And yeah, I could have went through all of this, but this car, in my opinion, was supposed to have been done. I wanted it done in spring. Didn't realize it had a lot more to do. I wanted it done by summer. Still had quite a bit to do. And now we're chasing fall, which is a short season. And I definitely want it done before the snow hits the ground. I want this thing out so we can begin on the Gold Chariot and Toby. Hi, buddy. So we're going to call it a night and take a shower and hit the hay. It's been a long day. Thank you guys and gals for watching. If you got any questions, any suggestions, throw them at me and I'll be glad to listen. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you next time here. Yep. Me and my hot dog cat. We'll see you next time here on Right Turn Garage TV. Y'all have a good one.